want you, baby. I need you, baby.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Welcome again to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We're back after taking the Cheyenne day off yesterday, so let's get into our program. It's going to be a busy one. First off, we want to thank Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine at its best, not corp, family-owned, family-operated, family recipes, all delicious all the time at Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Across the street, it's First Tier Bank. Doing banking the old-fashioned way, customer service-wise. Open Monday through Friday. Oh, by the way, check out their special CD rates going on right now. 27-month CD, how about 3.1% annual percentage yield? Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, all part of Lennox Enterprises, serving our area and our needs for a quarter century. The Auto Body and Truck Repair Center over on Dunn Avenue and the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Same location as always, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Bluegrass Circle, open Monday through Saturday. Shop inside or use the convenient drive-through as you make your way over to Medicap Pharmacy. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards. Yesterday I had that delicious, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely out of sight, Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwiches here for a limited time. So make sure you check that out on the menu. Have some waffle fries with that and your favorite beverage. Matter of fact, also here for a limited time as well is their Strawberry Passion Tea Lemonade. That's just part of the many delicious menu goodies over at Chick-fil-A, where they're open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Windmill and Delrange, across from Menards and from Powers Field.
Out of sight? What is this, the 70s?
You got that right. It's groovy, too. Platte Valley Bank, ×2. Banking done the old-fashioned way and also done the high-technology way and everything in between. Check them out over on Vandehigh, as well as you will find them on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way, where the fleet of Kias say, pick me, drive me, take me home. And again, the 19s need to move with some special pricing going on right now. So see my good buddy AJ and Greg and the entire crew over at Kia of Cheyenne and take home the Kia of your dreams today. And last but not least, we want to thank Taco John's, where the Sierra Chicken is back. It is huge. It is big. It is delicious. Here for a limited time only, Taco John's of Cheyenne with a plethora of locations, including the south side, where they're rebuilding the South Greeley Highway location, but the Taco John's food truck is available right there in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot, so you can enjoy delicious Taco John's cuisine, Southsiders. And we get things underway. It's scoreboard time. Probably I'll have Bupkis, but we'll go to him anyway. Nick Peroetti, and our scoreboard is brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Well, you better enjoy it because, at least for this weekend, this is the only thing I have up until high school football, which is the end of August. But at least on the local side, again, reminding folks coming up, at least starting up tomorrow, as we learn that Cheyenne Post 6 will be in Pool C, taking on a few other teams down there in the Connie Mack World Series. Again, they will get underway starting tomorrow at Farmington, New Mexico. Again, Cheyenne Post 6 competing, hopefully, to bring back a championship from the Connie Mack World Series.
Is that me?
That would be you. I can't tell a whole lot because, again, the games have not gone underway.
Major League Baseball matinee performances, a couple of finals in. The Mets have blanked the Padres at Citi Field 4-0. Cardinals double up the Bucks 6-3 at PNC. There's another team that looks like they're ready to start selling, the Pirates. End of 3 at Nats Park. It's the Rockies and the Nationals. They are scoreless on the hill for the Rocks. I do believe it's Jeff Hoffman, and he's being opposed by Max Scherzer for the Nationals, looking for that 4-game sweep. Games getting underway when we leave. It will be the Red Sox and the Yankees hooking up at Fenway Park. What a traditional matchup for those two. 6 o'clock game, we'll have the Twins at the White Sox, 6:15 Indians at the Royals. In the 8 o'clock hour, left coast games, Angels hosting the Orioles at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Athletics back in the Coliseum. They will host the Texas Rangers. And the Mariners at T-Mobile Park. They have a date with the Motor City Kitties of Detroit. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra Chicken Sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Wisdom, expertise, compassion, qualities that are the foundation of Cheyenne Urological. With Doctors Bryant, Everett, Dayeski, and their highly trained staff providing top quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence, you can trust Cheyenne Urological to give you the highest quality urinary care. Now offering the latest in robotic surgery, call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131. That's 635-4131.
The end of the summer is in sight. Did you accomplish all of your home improvements and remodeling projects? Whether you're remodeling your kitchen or adding a little extra space for your growing family, the Home Equity Line of Credit with Platte Valley Bank can help you finish what you want to complete this summer. So stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a Home Equity Line of Credit with Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All lines of credit are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 83. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 53. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on the Rocks and the Nats, and again, that was scoreless after 3. We get to talk some baseball here, where the season is officially done for the Cheyenne Mustangs. But again, expectations. I guess at the beginning of the season, as we have assistant coach in Reed Thompson right now joining us, you just didn't know. I mean, it was basically, this was going to be a work in progress all season long. Unfortunately, the season ended not the way you wanted it to, but, from beginning to end, and you were with this group of young men from the beginning to the end, a lot was accomplished in a very short period of time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys, first of all, for having me on today. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. But yeah, these kids have come a long way. And it's funny you mentioned that we had Tony, who's an umpire here in town. We had him for our season opener here at Pioneer against Casper, and then we had him again for our last home game against Grandview behind the plate again, and he made the comment, "Wow, these kids have come a long way." So, compliments like that from a handful of different people, show us that people from the outside looking in can see the improvement, and that's a win for us as a coaching staff.
What did you? Let me start by asking the question here. You personally, what did you see from the team in general? Was it a maturation process? Did you see all aspects of the baseball being played by these kids? What did you see?
Probably the biggest jump for them was the mental game developing for them. Them understanding situations, base running situations, realizing where they need to be on certain cut plays, what kind of approach they need to have at the plate, with guys on base versus nobody on, nobody out. So them kind of figuring out the situational and mental side of the game, I think, helped a lot of these players pretty quickly.
Well, starting out the season, as you mentioned, Reed, again, a team that had, I do believe, a 1-7 start to get out the gates, but again, has been flirting around at least 500, eventually got past that point during the season, at least competing down in the Colorado State Championships, at least official record 22-25, so again, still sub 500, but it is a young team as we talk with players, and we'll have another one coming up here on today's show. Again, a young team developing that didn't really have high expectations compared to last year's squad. And again, if anything, it's more hope for the future for this Mustangs program, where if you are to retain a lot of this talent, again, you can do special things in years to come.
Right. Yeah, we were hoping to finish over that 500 line, and ran into some good teams down there in state tournament. A couple older teams, couple real talented teams, especially that Premier West team we faced on Friday. But definitely something we could build on, and I think the kids were pleased with where they finished. I don't, a lot of them said, "Hey, I didn't think we'd even have a chance to be over 500." So, just the fact that there's that excitement, that optimism around the program is a good sign.
This season, again, going from Rick Thompson to Shane Baxter as the head coach. Sheldon Baxter. Looking, again, with your guys' relationship, you know each other and you've played ball together. How much did the philosophy change? Baseball's baseball, but you were on both sides there. So tell me how much of the philosophy changed from Pops to Sheldon.
I'd say most of the in-game philosophy is pretty much the same. Kind of the way we pitch people, the type of bunt plays and things like that we ran was pretty similar. Probably the biggest thing we kind of changed was a little bit of the feel around practice, a little bit of the culture, a little bit more laid back. Not quite as hard nosed, just because we're younger and we still want that discipline, but it was a little bit more laid back environment, and I think the kids responded well to that.
So changing up things, at least talk about philosophy styles, and again, going away from kind of the hard-nosed practices to a little relaxed attitude. But what are things, at least to look towards 2020 for this upcoming Mustang squad, or who does retain with this team? What are some things that we need to really focus on, whether it is offense, defense, pitching? I mean, what is the thing, hit the ground running, we need to improve on this for next season?
Definitely, probably the thing that needs to work the most is the pitching. Our hitting, we finished right around 300 average, which is pretty good, especially for how young the team was. Our ERA was a little bit higher there, and it was dropping towards the end once Coach Baxter got here. That ERA started coming down, but just being more consistent on the mound and on defense can help win a lot of games.
Now, as we look ahead towards 2020, all kids have to try out again, and let me ask you this: if it is a perfect world and the kids that you have now, how many are going to come back? If you could have them all back next year.
As far as I know, nobody's told me they're not coming back. So, hopefully we have all those guys out at tryouts on August 10th. But as you guys know, we got some changes coming about. We're going to merge with Triple Crown.
We'll get to that here in just a bit. But again, looking at your actual roster right now, how many kids do you lose?
We don't lose
aging out.
We don't lose anybody aging out. CJ is he was a senior over at Laramie, but he's actually younger, so he's only 17, so he's got a chance to come back. So I think that'll depend, what he does with work.
So basically, it's going to be, and again, you look at the team, how it progressed throughout the year, and you're trying out. This might be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, it'll be. We're in a good spot where we're not losing anybody. So and they've all been a year through the system, and they know what to expect now. They know kind of what this level of baseball looks like. So and now that they're a year older, a year more mature, it's easier for them to continue to grow.
And again, as we talk about, or at least you mentioned August 10th, another tryout for the Cheyenne Mustangs. And again, as you alluded to, the Triple Crown, at least baseball partnership. But, now retaining majority of the squad, again, you might have one that ages out or at least decides to determine something else, at least graduating from Laramie. But, how difficult is that to kind of at least get the tryouts taken care of where you have already established at least vets on your team, so to speak? They know your system. They know Sheldon Baxter. They know what's expected out of them. But then you have folks maybe from the Laramie Range that come on over, or from western Nebraska, maybe up north from Torrington, up at least down in northern Colorado. How hard is that a process, or at least how hard is it going to be of a process to select, compared to, we have this guy, but we see some special talent out of this newcomer from northern Colorado?
Right, and it's it's something that we've dealt with things like that for a lot of years now. So we kind of have that down to a process. So it's not too bad. But a lot of it is just evaluating their talent now and their talent where they'll be, when they're graduating high school, when they're coming out of our program, and kind of trying to project that.
All right, so the Cheyenne Mustangs on the varsity side played their last game here last weekend. The Cheyenne Mustangs varsity is now defunct. It's now under a new flag. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we met with Triple Crown last week and finalized this, and some talks have been going on a little bit before that period. But we are going to partner with Triple Crown Colorado to form Triple Crown Wyoming here in Cheyenne. It'll be based out of Cheyenne here. We'll hold tryouts here in Cheyenne on August 10th, and that'll be open to anybody in the region, all the way across the state of Wyoming. Anybody that is willing to drive down to Cheyenne for a tryout is welcome, and maybe a handful of northern Colorado players, depending where they fall. So pretty exciting time for baseball here in Cheyenne.
Talk about the age groups, or at least what is this going to affect for the Cheyenne Mustangs, or at least now what is going to be known as Triple Crown Wyoming. What age groups does this affect, a part of the extensive Mustangs family that is at least currently in state?
Right, so the current Mustang family, 9 to 14, will remain intact. And then Triple Crown Wyoming will start at 15 years old, 15 to 18. And then the breakdown of those age groups will depend on tryouts.
So essentially, for those who may not at least be familiarized with leagues, again, as we have American Legion, Mustangs as of 2019 were part of Connie Mack. You have this Triple Crown baseball affiliation that is headquartered down in Fort Collins, Colorado, but again is a nationwide thing that's been in operation for about 25 years. But with this move to Triple Crown baseball, is it essentially you're moving into a brand new league, no more Connie Mack baseball? Just kind of explain of what this means for at least the Cheyenne Mustangs, now Triple Crown Wyoming.
Right, so it'll be similar schedule that we've played in years past. A lot of the Connie Mack tournaments down in Colorado, like the Cherry Creek Classic, the 4th of July tournament, they play Triple Crown. Historically plays in those tournaments, but they also had the opportunity to go play in a little bit bigger showcase tournaments in Arizona and Georgia, places like that. So kind of an opportunity to expand our schedule a little bit on top of what we've already been playing.
Now, is with Triple Crown Wyoming, are you going to be in an actual league? Is there going to be league play against, other Triple Crown Colorado teams?
So the details on the schedule haven't been worked out yet, but I don't think that we'll play in a league next year. Most of their teams, their Triple Crown Colorado teams, don't play in a league. And even the Mustangs in years past, up until this year, we usually did not play in a league.
So does this sound more like you're going to be a tournament-based team throughout the course of next year? I mean, very rarely we're going to catch you in a doubleheader up here at Powers Field. I mean, you're going to have tournaments here, tournaments there. almost every weekend a tournament?
Yeah, it'll be more of a tournament type team, a lot like that team we had here 2 years ago, but a chance to play a little bit more steady competition and play in front of more college coaches that way.
And as you talked about and alluded to, doing a bit of research, going through that Triple Crown Baseball website of just seeing what it is all about. Again, as you mentioned, tournaments that are, they have an Omaha Classics just like at least Post 6 competes in. You have Park City tournaments. I do believe Steamboat Springs has a tournament. As you mentioned, Georgia, Arizona, Florida, I do believe is where they're hosting the World Series. But talk about where, again, we understand that you've been playing in the local region, but what is the reality for 2020 or at least in the future for Triple Crown Wyoming? Are we looking at possibilities that we have this Wyoming team, your squad, traveling out to Georgia, traveling out to Florida, traveling out to Omaha, competing on a nationwide basis?
Yeah, we'd love to take a Wyoming squad and take them out across the country and say, hey, look, this is the kind of baseball we're playing in Wyoming, and line it up with some of those top teams across the country, and compete in front of big-time schools and show them what we can do. So ideally that's the goal. Whether that'll be this coming year or in future years will kind of depend on where the team's at and when we do scheduling. So, but it is definitely something that we're looking forward to.
Assistant coach Reed Thompson in today for Sheldon Baxter, the skipper of the now defunct Cheyenne Mustangs.
You make it sound so bad. Again,
well, it is. I mean, it is. It's Triple Crown.
I mean, we do have history now with the jersey of Cheyenne Mustangs.
That's right. These are going to be worth some money. Anyway, go ahead, Nick. I have a question for Reed.
Well, in talking about, again, keeping on the feed with Post 6, where we got a little muddles right now. Again, a Legion team now competing in the Connie Mack World Series. You guys, at least the Mustangs, now Triple Crown, being a part of this, getting out of Connie Mack, so to speak. What does that lead, or at least the potentials for postseason play for the Triple Crown Wyoming team? Are you going to be able to at least qualify, if not get an automatic bid, if you do compete in the CABA tournament to go play in the Connie Mack World Series? Are you only allowed to compete in the Triple Crown World Series? I mean, what are the options now heading forward for this program?
I'm not exactly sure what the regulations are between CABA and Triple Crown because they are competing organizations, but I don't expect a whole lot to change, and we try not to worry about what's going on. We just, the decision-making process around this is what's best for our current players, what's best for the players in this region, in this state, and how can we help elevate Wyoming baseball to its highest potential.
And you still be known as the Mustangs, right?
Triple Crown Wyoming.
You're not going to have a nickname, nothing like that. Just Triple Crown Wyoming.
Just Triple Crown Wyoming.
All right, let me ask this question here, and we'll get on the controversial side. And I hate to put you up against the ropes on this one here, but what led to this move? Obviously, you've been Connie Mack ever since the Mustangs came into play. Over a decade ago, okay? So let's talk about, again, we had Legion, we had Connie Mack, we haven't had high school, and Triple Crown really is big-time high school baseball. So what led the Mustangs organization to say, let's give this a shot?
Like I said, the biggest thing was just what's best for the future of our program. The thing that kind of struck me the most is not only just the name brand of Triple Crown, but once we got into meetings with them and talking about what their goals are, they aligned perfectly with what our goals are. And the two things that their CEO Dave King said is their two priorities are player development and access to college recruiting. And that's if they structure their decision making around that, then they'll be successful in an organization. And that's one of the reasons they were interested in starting Triple Crown Wyoming. Because there's players here that would like more access to college recruiting, would like more player development, and would be excited about this. And it's something that they felt like they could help us with, and we could help them with in a mutual relationship.
Now, again, to my point here on this, it seems like with Triple Crown Wyoming, it seems like you'll be spending a very good portion of your schedule on the road.
Yeah, yep, and that's how it always is. For us, in every single year's past, we've been, we play in the Colorado State tournament. We played in Fort Collins and Denver quite a bit, and Ideally, like we talked about, playing in Albuquerque, but that's just the nature of the beast for us. And I don't know if we'll be allowed to play American Legion teams next year or not. I don't know how that all breaks down, but we're not too worried about that. We got a pretty good setup how we have it. So, but yeah, we'll be playing most of our games.
What are the options? As again, we know the Cobb is in town at least for a couple more seasons. We do have that tournament here. Again, Legion competes at least throughout the state. But would there be a possibility for Triple Crown to host, or at least for Triple Crown Wyoming to host a tournament here in Cheyenne, whether it is at Powers only or, again, splitting between Pioneer and Powers? Obviously we don't have the complex like some, at least areas down in Colorado have, or in Nebraska or up in South Dakota. But is there a realistic opportunity that we could see a Triple Crown tournament here in town?
Yeah, we'd like to. We'd like to at least host a Triple Crown Wyoming type tournament, but they also have what they call their pathway events, which is a showcase style tournament. Where top teams come and a bunch of college coaches come in and evaluate the talent and play a lot of games in a short period of time. And like you said, I don't know if we have enough fields for that, but it's something that they were open to the idea of kind of kicking the tires at and seeing. But again, another opportunity for Wyoming baseball players to gain some exposure.
So with the offseason now in effect for you, for Sheldon, for, again, the now known Triple Crown Wyoming team to get away from the Mustangs, but what does the offseason look? Obviously, again, with the August 10th tryout at Powers Field, and again, quickly we'll mention will be happening at Powers Field 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And again, once we get more information, we'll certainly pass that along on the social media side. But what does the offseason look? Is it just retooling now, getting color schemes, jerseys set in stone, reworking the logo? I mean, just kind of give us, what does the offseason look right now to get ready for 2020?
Yeah, all that you mentioned, all the administrative stuff and kind of changing hands and getting uniforms taken care of. But we'll also be playing fall baseball with Triple Crown, and that's going to look probably more like us combining players with what they currently have down there in Triple Crown, Colorado, what we get at Trouts at Triple Crown Wyoming, and figure out the guys that aren't playing football and aren't busy in the fall, and making a couple teams that will play down in Colorado fall baseball together. So kind of the first step in uniting our two programs in this partnership. And then they do have a Phillies scout team affiliated with their top Triple Crown fall team. So Wyoming players will have an opportunity to try out for that, and hopefully a handful of them have a chance to make that team and play and compete at that level. So an exciting first step for us, for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's exciting times for Triple Crown Wyoming now, as, again, baseball doesn't wrap up at Frontier Days. You have an opportunity to play well into the fall. I would venture to say probably, late October, that these young men that are baseball-only type of kids are going to have a chance to, keep their skills fresh and get ready for when you guys all get back together again right after the first of the year. So we wish you and Sheldon all the best, and to the guys that played this year, and hopefully they all win that spot back on Triple Crown Wyoming for next season, because it sounds like exciting times here in our part of the world.
Absolutely, we're excited. We're looking forward to everything that's going on.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We want to thank Reed Thompson for joining us. We're going to come back. We're going to talk with Phabien Pena, one of the young men that is on the current Cheyenne Mustangs, which is now Triple Crown Wyoming. We're back after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
The message is simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by federal highway safety funds. In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Pepsi products. 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $3.99. Pabst Blue Ribbon, 24-pack, 12-ounce cans, $15.99. And Black Velvet, 1.75-liter bottle, $11.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We get a chance to introduce you to one of the members of the former Cheyenne Mustangs, now Triple Crown Wyoming, and he's Phabien Pena. And first off, we know that you're going to be a sophomore at Cheyenne East, and interesting to note.
Another young one a part of the squad.
Well, yeah, but I mean, again, you know, they're building the new KRAE right next to Cheyenne East, and East now 4 years, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you had your first year of high school at Cheyenne. So tell us how that went for you as a freshman, being the young guy and starting all over again.
Yeah, it was definitely I'd say a reality check, because going from junior high to high school, the schooling and the teachers are a lot harder and push you to do your best, as where in junior high they get you ready, but it's not as strict and as, you know. So it was definitely my first year. It was good. I could improve in many aspects. But yeah.
Well, and it's same on kind of the athletic, at least, side of things as well, where, again, you move up that level, it changes a bit of a pace. Same with the next level with JUCO, Division I, whatever it may be. But, you know, talk about it as we get an understanding, you know, first year at Cheyenne East. How many years have you been a part of the Cheyenne Mustangs program?
I've been a part going on 4 years.
And was this your first year being a part of the varsity squad?
Yes, it was my first year, and 2 years ago I had surgery on my elbow, so I missed that year. So it was definitely different going from a 14U team to a varsity team, because I missed that year. But yeah, it was a great experience.
What did you notice as you're talking about the differences between junior high moving over to Cheyenne East? Mm-hmm. Same with at least being a part of that 14U, going up to at least being called up essentially to be playing for varsity Cheyenne Mustangs baseball. What were the noticeable differences that kind of hit you right out the gates this season?
Definitely, like more talent. You need to be disciplined, confidence, and main thing is compete. Because at the younger ages, when you play sports, it's kind of like fun and games. But once you get to a higher level, it really teaches you how to be a better player and to compete.
Now, any other athletic events that you participate in besides baseball?
Yeah, I do track and I play basketball.
All right. Now, on the now Triple Crown Wyoming team, what positions do you play?
I play center field and I'm a leadoff.
All right. So, as Nick mentioned to you, going from one level to the next, and again, this is the top level. This is the high school varsity level. You were the leadoff hitter for the Mustangs. Tell me some of the things that you learned being that leadoff hitter, because you are the table setter. So you saw bigger, stronger, and faster, as we've used that term many times. Talk about the discipline you had to have being that leadoff hitter.
My main thing was, before being a varsity player, I would look for any pitch to hit, whether it was a strike or not. And so when I got into that leadoff position, I knew, okay, I'm not going to be the first out. My team needs me, and I'm going to get on base, because after me, we have a great group of guys that can hit. So my main thing was just focusing on what pitches he was throwing, how hard, getting my timing down. That was a big struggle towards the beginning of the season. But yeah, it was definitely harder going from a 14U team to a varsity team and being a leadoff.
What were some things, at least you talk about the timing and trying to get that down early on in the season, again, going from the one level to varsity, seeing the faster, at least, side of things where it quickens pace. What were some things during the season, whether it was coaches helping you or maybe outside of practice, that you did to at least get that timing up, or at least kind of work on it to be a little bit more consistent for that leadoff role?
Yeah, so Reed did a phenomenal job with me as a leadoff, because he knew that I wanted to get on base a lot, and I'm a quicker guy, so I can steal bases and I can, do the things most can't. And so he worked with me on my load, because I had like a ugly little kick. And so I just learned to stay connected, trust my hands. And I also bought this thing off of Amazon. It's called a swing grail, and it helps you keep your hands in, because I drop my hands a lot. And so I struggle with inside pitches, so that helped a lot.
Guys like you, and I remember my pitching days, you were pests, just simply for the fact that, A, you have to go up there with a good eye. You're not afraid to walk. B, you could lay it down at any time for a base hit. And like you said, you like to steal. So obviously you sound like the prototypical leadoff guy. Do you, when you get on base, do you have that automatic green light? Because obviously, as you mentioned, you go out for track. So I'm thinking you got some wheels.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's always a thrill to steal. But the main thing is I more than likely have the green light, depending on what team we're playing. If we're playing a higher level team, and the catcher has a good arm and the pitcher's throwing harder, we'll wait to see a couple pitches, and we'll usually go on coaches will think a curveball or a changeup. And so, yeah.
Now, I'm a lefty. I think I can pick you off, okay? But what do you look for from pitching? You see both sides. You see the port side, or you see the right-handed guy. Do you watch their legs as they step off, the right-hand guy step off, and especially the left-hand guy will give you that little head fake and go to first base? What are you looking for to help you be a better base stealer?
What helps me a lot too is I'm lefty, and so I pitch, and I also have that little trickery move where I can pick off some guys. So I've gotten the tendency to look for that, because when I pick off, I tend to change my load, I guess you could say. And so that definitely helps. But with a righty, most of them go on the same time. Like, they'll look back twice, look back 3 times, and I've gotten that down pretty well. And they'll wait significantly longer than when they pitch a ball, so that helps a lot. And then with a lefty, I just look for their leg, and usually some of them will look back a couple times, twice, 3 times, and then they'll go. So yeah, that definitely helped being a lefty. And
that's cool.
So in talking about at least this season, and also too will lead up into 2020 for you, at least, Phabien, a situation of what did you have goals set for yourself again? As we talk about steals, you had the wheels, having that opportunity, being a leadoff, working on some mechanics. But what goals, what expectations, what did you set for 2019 for yourself being a part of this varsity squad? And then also, too, here we are postseason. Again, as the season is now officially over, but for 2020, what are things that you want to work on, or at least what goals you have for next season being a part of this Triple Crown team?
Yeah, so my goals going into my first year of varsity was definitely to get a lot better, to work on my bat speed and to work on my speed as well, because that was something I lacked. I was never really a good hitter, so I spent a lot of time in the cages and working on my swing. And pitching-wise, I wanted to be, one of the best pitchers there was, which I didn't think was going to happen because I knew that there was going to be some guys that throw a lot harder. And with my surgery, it kind of set me back a little bit. But my goals for 2020 is going to be, I'm going to challenge myself to the max because I know there's going to be some guys that we might play with, might come over to our team, and that are going to be skilled because they've had good coaching. So my goal is just to get better, train harder, and train more out of the week. So
we're talking. I was going to say we're talking with Phabien Pena of the Cheyenne Mustangs now / Triple Crown Wyoming. And I don't mean to jump on top of you, Nick, but real quick, your thoughts on, is it just a name change? Baseball's still baseball, right?
Yeah. To me, I don't think it's a name change. It's definitely opening a lot of doors for the players and the coaches. And it's definitely exciting for all of us because we are going to get an experience that most kids don't get at our age. And that's my main thing, is just learning how I can get better every day.
That was my question, at least for Phabien, so I'm glad you took it from me. But other than that, I mean, to go off of that, though, headed in your sophomore year with Shinies, you got plenty of time to get through high school and figure out that next level. But, as we talk with Reed and as we get more details about this Triple Crown team now coming to Wyoming here in town, but, it does give you, as you mentioned again, opportunities. It's going to have college scouts. It's going to have pro scouts, semi-pro, whatever it may be. Now, taking quick eyes on this Triple Crown team here in Cheyenne that you'll be a part of. Does that add pressure to you? Are you happy for that added pressure? I mean, does that now get you thinking here as a sophomore, I got to focus on my, at least next level. What do I want to do?
Yeah, so the pressure is definitely there in many aspects because I want to eventually get the chance to play college ball. And so knowing that there's college scouts in the stands, it is definitely pressure on.
But it's also good pressure.
Yeah, it is because it challenges you. I'm going to go up to bat with a good approach, and I'm going to hit the ball. I'm going to believe in myself, and I'm going to hit the ball, and I'm going to show these college scouts what I'm made of.
Yeah, exciting times, again, to be a part of this squad where these opportunities now here available for likes of you, for Ryan Chamberlain, for whoever it may be a part of this squad, now to move on that next level is what we want out of here, the city of Cheyenne. Now, what I want to ask you, something we ask every other player, who doesn't matter if it's Extreme, Post 6, Cheyenne Mustangs, Triple Crown Wyoming, whatever it may be, favorite MLB team that you like to watch?
Definitely the Rockies.
Even after this
a little bit of a struggle right now for the Rocks, and probably even today. Favorite player?
Kevin Pillar.
Really, from the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and again, I think that's a very good point that you made with Kevin Pillar, because we watched him make some sensational plays. Yeah. Kevin is not your leadoff guy. He's your 7-6 guy. He doesn't hit for average, but so you pride yourself more defensively?
Yeah, I'd say I'm better defensively. And the reason why I say Kevin Pillar is because he's an outstanding outfielder, and you can learn a lot from just watching him.
And he gets great breaks on the ball.
He does. He gets,
And we think we've noticed here, and Nick and myself will agree on this one, because we've talked with guys that have played the outfield. You see so many different sky variations, especially when we have thunderstorms or it's cold weather, and then you go down to Colorado where it's a blue sky and hot. How do you adapt to that? I mean, do you have sunglasses? Do you wear eye black? How do you get a jump on the ball? Again, metal and wood, it's a different sound.
Yeah, it is. So I have a pair of Oakleys, and I wear eye black for almost every game. And my main thing is I'm a pretty quick guy. So even if I can't see the ball, I possibly can still get to it. So yeah.
That's good. I like that. That Kevin Pillar, again, he's really awakened me to seeing how great of a defensive player is. I wish he could hit about 300, but
yeah.
Then
the thing is too, he's not even that fast really. He just gets.
He's great jumps.
Yeah, and that's. I've made some decent catches, getting good jumps. So.
All right.
It's.
Well, Phabien, we want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best through your high school years, and hopefully we'll get a chance maybe next season to have you come in and talk with Triple Crown Triple Crown Sports.
Call his A for Triple Crown, and also too again for Cheyenne.
Triple Crown Wyoming.
Triple Crown Wyoming, and again also to see them in the basketball at least upcoming years over there at Cheyenne East, being a part of Coach at least Rusty Horsley's squad over there. So.
Well, we invite you to enjoy the rest of the summer, and good luck at tryouts coming up here on August 10th. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with more after these words on 1480 KRAE.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra chicken sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra chicken sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480krae.com.
The message is simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 83. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 53. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We'll get back into this new situation at the former Cheyenne Mustangs. Again, now the Mustangs will still be together in the younger age group, but they will now be called Triple Crown Wyoming.
Cheyenne Mustangs, again, are in existence from 18 to 14 years old, a part of those squads. But, yes, again, the varsity, junior varsity, so to speak, 15 to 18, those at least player ranges and ages, again, junior varsity, are now known as Triple Crown Wyoming. As you mentioned, again, saying the Cheyenne Mustangs are defunct. Well, they're not. Again, they are just getting out of the Connie Mack ranks and joining this new Triple Crown
The varsity Cheyenne Mustangs are no longer the Cheyenne Mustangs, but the younger 9 to 14.
And again, that does include logoing. Again, the Cheyenne Mustangs, or at least the logoing for the varsity squad is going bye-bye. Coloring, again, new jerseys, new everything are coming up for the 2020 season.
I do want to mention this because this just broke. If you did not hear today, after 13 seasons in the majors, former Rocky shortstop Troy Tulowitzki, announced his retirement today. As he says, I'm saying goodbye to
surprise?
Well, he's been off to injury. And again, one lousy hit by pitch in Minnesota, and it opened up the door for injury after injury. But anyway, he says, I'm saying goodbye to Major League Baseball, but I will never say goodbye to the game I love. Tulowitzki said in a statement released by the Yankees, thanks to all of you. Tulowitzki, at age 34, spent 10 campaigns with the Rocks from 06 to 15, batting .299, 188 home runs. And again, the question would have been, what could have been an illustrious career for Troy Tulowitzki had he stayed healthy. He also was a 5-time All-Star, won 2 Gold Gloves, 2 Silver Slugger Awards.
Surprised the Rockies are maybe down the line. Will they give him a one-day contract to let him officially retire as a Rocky, which he is known as, and again, beloved by those fans down in Denver? You see that all the time.
How many jerseys did we see when we went down to watch the Giants doubleheader?
A lot.
There's a lot of number 2s. And I have one in my closet as well, too, that says Tulowitzki on it. So,
again, guy who was beloved in the Mile High City, so you wonder if the Rockies, again, if they want to be good enough, or at least, again, extend out that arm and do something special for Troy Tulowitzki, again, a guy who had his career essentially cut short due to the injuries, which, again, that's why I'm saying, is this a surprise that he is retiring at this point? No. Again, he's been a shell of himself for quite some time, even those years up in, at least in Toronto, but it'd be interesting to see. We see it in football. You see it in basketball sometimes. Baseball every once in a while, but you wonder if the Rockies will extend out the arm or at least say, hey, we got a one-day contract, bring on out, and we'll retire you officially as a Rocky.
You know, it's interesting, too. He was part of one of the worst Rocky trades ever. The Rockies traded him and relief pitcher LaTroy Hawkins to the Toronto Blue Jays. And that was back in July 2015. They picked up pitching prospects Miguel Castro.
Who?
Yeah. Jesus Tinoco, who's now toiling in the minors, and Jeff Hoffman, who's throwing today for the Rocks, and shortstop Jose Reyes.
And he went bye-bye.
Yeah, where the Rockies had to eat, $21 million of contract?
A lot of money on that.
So, he was released by Toronto in December 2018, signed with the Yankees a month later. So, anyway, Troy Tulowitzki has wrapped up his career. And, again, what could have been less the injuries, he was one of the premier shortstops. Yes, we could say the same about Trevor Story, but Tulo was more of that average hitter, more of that power hitter. You know, he was a contact hitter, and again, it's sad to see him hang him up.
Anyways, again, from that breaking news, but again, going back of talking with assistant coach Reed Thompson and getting this understanding. Again, also to at least thanks to Phabien Pena coming out and talking with us, get a little introduction at least into his life and his playing career, but. As we mentioned again, Cheyenne Mustangs, at least on the varsity side and JV, are no longer at least Cheyenne Mustangs. They are no longer part of Connie Mack baseball. They are officially now what is known as Triple Crown Wyoming. Again, part of this Triple Crown League that is headquartered down in Fort Collins, Colorado. It's a league that has existed for about 25 years, at least in the baseball stint of things. Triple Crown, if that name sounds familiar, they're well known, at least more known on the softball side of things. So, but again, they ventured into baseball about 25 years. So, again, a unique move for the Cheyenne Mustangs, now Triple Crown Wyoming. Again, gives them bigger opportunities, as we mentioned, or at least talk with Reed about. More opportunities for college scouts, semi-pros to come on out. These tournaments that are nationwide. Again, this is a nationwide league that has teams and events as we mentioned again, from Omaha to Arizona. They have fall ball going on. World Series, as I mentioned, happens kind of in the southeast region, whether it's in Georgia or Florida. They do move that every once in a while. But again, there are national tournaments, national at least teams at least for the Triple Crown Wyoming squad now to take on and compete and again showcase off the local talent, whether it is here in the Cap City, Laramie County, the state of Wyoming, and also to at least northern Colorado and possibly western Nebraska. So again, the Triple Crown Wyoming now becomes essentially on the baseball side what the Cheyenne Extreme are, being that kind of hub for at least those players on the outside to come here to the Cap City and showcase off their talents.
Well, the only thing that still sucks in this part of the world, there's no high school baseball. Again,
will we ever get it? I don't know.
No, probably not. But you're moving
we're still fighting to get softball.
But the one thing that you're doing is opening up that fall league to these young men that want to play baseball. And again, it doesn't end like everything else here. Frontier days, they can play through at least late October. So for these guys here, again, high school baseball, the season gets extended into the fall season, because again, you got to remember the teams like in Eaton, Colorado, or in Loveland, they've got fall baseball that leads right into baseball season
leads into
school.
Whatever down there.
Yeah.
But again, for Triple Crown Wyoming, now for them, again, formerly known as Cheyenne Mustangs, with this team and again this new venture for 2020. Again, it will happen officially summer of 2020. August 10th, at least coming up at least next month, they will have tryouts for this new squad, again, retaining or at least attempting to retain what was a part of the Cheyenne Mustangs, and again, at least trying to acquire new talent to come be a part of this baseball program. Again, the schedule, we do not officially know of what's going to be the capabilities, what's going to be the limitations for Triple Crown coming up. Again, will they be able to compete against Post 6 here in town? Will they be able to compete against Legion teams? Even with the Casper Crush, now Wyoming's lone Connie Mack team in this state, up there in the middle of the state, will they be able to take on a Casper Crush team? Will they be able to host events here in the Cap City, any tournament? So again, scheduling, all that fun stuff, logoing, colors, jerseys, teams, blah blah blah, scheduling. Again, that's all going to get worked on right now in the offseason for the Cheyenne Mustangs / Triple Crown Wyoming. Again, as they focus and move into this new and positive direction. Again, this is huge, at least to the city of Cheyenne.
This is going to take a lot of getting used to. Triple Crown Wyoming. They're not, Triple Crown Wyoming Mustangs. They're just Triple Crown Wyoming. That's it.
Which is not going to be hard. Again,
TCW hats, right?
I don't know. Again, that's all for them to figure out in this offseason of how they do logoing and what it's going to be. But again, excited to see this new venture for Triple Crown Wyoming, again, formerly known as Cheyenne Mustangs, to see what it evolves into. And again, as we talk about, learn about this program, or at least learn about this league and this organization, again, this is a positive move. This is a big step forward for, again, local folks, at least here in town, for baseball sense. Again, this is big opportunities for local, at least talent, to move on to that next level.
All right, we need to move into hour number 2. We got another special guest joining us. We will talk with him in just a bit.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And we'd like to thank a great list of sponsors, Taco John's of Cheyenne. Again, where they're doing the rebuild of the South Greeley address. So again, check out the food truck serving up delicious Taco John's eats on the south side, and you can catch it usually right there in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot. Taco John's of Cheyenne, where they have for a limited time their Sierra Chicken back, and it's so good. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Again, a great time of year to take a test drive and save some big bucks on the entire Kia fleet, which includes the all-new 2020 Telluride on the lot over at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. We want to thank Platte Valley Bank ×2, the east side location, corner of College and Pershing, the original location on Vanda High. And again, Rick and the crew invites you to stop on by. They do all types of banking. Now, I'm talking about high-tech banking, talking about good old-fashioned customer service banking. They offer everything in between. So, again, see what Platte Valley Bank can do for you. Let them be your bank here in this part of the world. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards. You're home right now for a limited time. The Strawberry Passion Tea Lemonade, and I'm going to tell you right now, it gets double thumbs up from me. The Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich, it is excellent. Oh, so good. They're serving up 3 squares for you, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Saturday, 2 convenient drive-thrus, or just sit down inside where it's nice and comfortable. Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Delrange. Medicap Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs and with your doctor's prescription, let Gene and his great staff fill those said prescriptions. You can see them inside, right there on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse, or use the convenient drive-thru open Monday through Saturday. Lennox Auto Body, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, founded by Dick Lennox. And the tradition is carried on, hasn't missed a beat with his daughter Heather. 25 years they have been taking care of our vehicles' woes in this part of the world. First Year Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Mondello's Pizzeria directly across the street, open 7 days a week at 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Suite D in the Greenway Commons, family-owned, family-operated. Family recipes, not corporate recipes, family recipes, all delicious, always fresh at Mondello's Pizzeria. And we get things underway. It's going to be me pretty much on the scoreboard, being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne, but we always turn it over to Nick first to see what's going on in his world.
We'll recap it, or at least letting folks know, again, coming up this weekend, starting up tomorrow. Again, pool play down in Farmington, New Mexico with Cheyenne Post 6 as they are postseason bound, again, competing in the Connie Mack World Series. They will be Team C1 playing in the Pool C portion of the game down there at the Connie Mack World Series. Again, we'll get underway coming up tomorrow. Again, goes all the way up until Championship Monday. So, again, for Cheyenne Post 6, still a lot of baseball still to be played this weekend.
Major League Baseball, well, the Rockies put up a 3 spot in the top of the 4th inning. The Nats answer back with a 3 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning. They are now into the top of the 6th as the Rockies and the Nats are tied at 3 apiece. Nationals have won the first 3 games of this 4-game set. Couple of finals in, matinee performances today. The Mets with a 4-0 whitewash of the Padres at Citi Field. Cardinals double up the Bucks 6-3, and games that'll be getting underway when we leave here, 5:10. The traditional matchup between the Red Sox and the Yankees. This will be at Fenway Park. 6 o'clock game will have the Twins and the White Sox in Chicago. 6:15, Indians Royals at Kauffman Stadium. And the late nighters on the left coast, Angels hosting the Orioles at Angel Stadium, Anaheim. It will be the Athletics back in the Coliseum to entertain the Texas Rangers. Mariners at the T-Mobile Park in Seattle. They will face off with the Motor City Kitties of Detroit. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
We'll work hard for your business, and we'll work just as hard to keep it. I'm A.J. Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and you need to see the new 2019 Kia Sportage today. The 2019 Kia Sportage offers numerous options and advanced driving features that help you know who is around you and how best to stay in control. Kia Sportage offers many standard features for the money. Some of the competition does not. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Capital Lumber is #1 in Cheyenne.
Are you listening?
We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. Family owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company invites you to stop by for these great summertime specials featuring all greenhouse flowers and herbs. Buy one and get two free. Save 50% off on B&B aspen trees, 25% off on container deciduous trees, and 15% off all container evergreen trees and shrubs. Also get 20% off on all Austrian, pinyon, and spruce trees, plus B&B ash, elm, hawkberry, oak, and pear trees. Looking for a gift? Check out their gift center and receive 15% off on one gift item. Serving Cheyenne in the area since 1977, it's always a one-stop shop for your yard and garden. From family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. Open 7 days a week, all season long.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY, and that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra Chicken Sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 83. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 53. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56.
Here, the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Perotti, along with Nick Perotti and Seth Glause, the head coach at LCCC on the rodeo side, is joining us. And the last time we had a chance to catch up with Coach was at the LCCC barbecue, and then you were off. You were off, and you were going west on I-80 and had a stop in Rock Springs.
It's busy times at this point.
Yeah,
you know.
and again. I guess the key word I use for Coach here, rodeo. There's a lot of it going on, but you were very much involved in what was going on in Rock Springs here recently.
Yeah, I was at the National High School Finals doing some recruiting and helping out with the PRCA mini camps, and made a lot of good connections with a lot of nice students.
You know, when we think of high school rodeo, we say, well, gosh, high school's been out for 2-3 weeks, so. Explain to us a little bit when they're having these finals rodeo going on here in July or in June when there's nobody on campus anymore.
Right. Rodeo season's just pretty much kicking off for the summer. Most of the high school state finals, they'll finish up in June and then go on to Rock Springs for the high school finals. Most of these kids, they're out competing. The national high school champion calf roper, he's competing, doing very well here in Cheyenne. It was a great experience. Got to watch a lot of our incoming freshmen compete and do well, and just see them get ready to participate on the next level.
Oh, by the way, this is also a recruiting trip for you as well.
Yes, sir, it is. We made a lot of good connections with potential student athletes, and look to continue to build those relationships and move those forward.
As you are on the same plane as the rest is volleyball, soccer, over at LCCC, men's and women's basketball, again, you get 2 years and you got to figure out that new incoming, at least, squad of freshmen. How many are we losing from sophomores, part of this LCCC rodeo squad, that you need to fill in this offseason?
Yeah, so I filled 12 spots on my team this year. Rodeo is a little bit different compared to the other sports. Our student athletes can actually compete for 4 years at LCCC. So some exciting things coming down the pipeline is the fact that LCCC is offering bachelor degrees that will allow our students to, further their education and set themselves up for a career after rodeo.
Speaking of rodeo, obviously we got the Daddy of them all going on right now at Cheyenne Frontier Days. I guess as a coach, what do you, when you get a chance to hang out at the rodeo, do you just go out as a fan, or do you go out and look at the different events and say, if I were coaching my kids, I would say something to them?
For me, I get to go out there as a fan. We have 3 LCCC students competing, 4 if you count Dean. Dean Finnerty, who's my assistant coach, he's in the Bulldogging today. We, I want to go out, see my student athletes do well, see my friends that I used to rodeo with when I was competing professionally.
We'll talk about one of your student athletes that's kind of made at least news here in the Cap City. Again, part of Cheyenne Frontier Days, that'd be one, Sydney Graff, who has been doing well. Again, she was 3rd place, I do believe, earlier in the week, at least in her, women's breakaway, at least trying to get the championship. But talk about what she's doing right now at CFD.
Yeah, she competed very well. She won they have an opening qualifying round. She won that, won a pretty good check, and then won 3rd in her round and then missed one. So unfortunately, she didn't make it back to the short round. 2 other students that we have there today were Sierra Christensen and Georgie Loggy. Georgie was only one of the only girls to rope both her calves, but still same deal, tournament-style format. It's winner take all, and unfortunately she didn't get a move on because she was not in the top 3 in money earned.
Now, as we've talked with you, Seth, and gotten a background of you, again, even talking with former head coach Bo Clark, at least now at UW, former at least rodeo participants. Now, when you're out there at CFD, here it is, your home, or at least here where you're living at, just right a few miles away. Do you ever get the itch, wanting to get back out on those grounds? I mean, is there a point where you want to be like, I enjoy being a fan, but that looks like some fun riding out there?
Oh, no, I get that question a lot, but, I'm retired, and I intend to keep it that way.
Again, we're talking with Seth Glause, head coach at LCCC. Let me ask you this, Seth. We're talking about our student athletes that are participating here at CFD and winning a check. It's a lot different than a basketball player getting paid to score 35 points for Jason Ficka. So explain to our listening audience, and I already know the answer to this because we haven't been involved with rodeo for many years. I know the answer to this question, but how do these young men and women get to participate, make money, but yet still compete on the collegiate level?
Right. In our rule book, we don't have a professional clause in ours where we can't compete for a paycheck or for money. But our student athletes, they're showing up here and paying $500 entry fee and putting their own money on the line for a chance to compete and win. So it's super exciting to watch them go out there and be successful, and they represent LCCC with pride, and we're proud of them. They're the kind of people that are going to continue to carry on in rodeo and build our brand and support what we do. So to see them be successful and get in front of the fans is just amazing experience for them. It's an amazing experience for the college and myself.
We'll talk about, again, as we have CFD underway right now, and talking with other sports, as we've at least talked with Vince Gibson, Jason Ficka, Brian Ortmeyer. Hey, over there at LCCC, you have a few student athletes that are still on campus, still have the opportunity to use those facilities of practice for their upcoming seasons. Now, leading up to the Cheyenne Frontier Days for, again, the 3 participants or any former or at least future LCCC rodeo athlete, Are they able to use the LCCC arena for practice time, so to speak, out there? Are they allowed to at least take some animals out there and use those facilities to prepare for Cheyenne Frontier Days?
All these student athletes, they're competing at other places, so they're more or less they'll just pass through and need a place to stay. But right now we have big team roping going on and a team sorting event going on in the arena, so the arena's in full use, and unfortunately that those student athletes aren't there, but maybe somewhere down the line it'll be an option for them. Somebody I forgot to mention is Austin Hurlburt is up the next 2 days. He was CNFR qualifier for us, and he will be competing in the tie-down roping.
This is a very wonderful time of year, in addition to Cheyenne Frontier Days, which will come to an end here on Sunday. But there's more rodeo that goes on along the Front Range, and as well as through the Cowboy State, even into Nebraska, our neighbors to the east. So, you look at the young people that are participating, from LCCC, and again, a lot of collegiate athletes that are going to be, putting in some hard-earned cash to compete, but still a lot to go throughout the summer.
Oh yeah, they're all trying to make whether it's their circuit finals for the PRCA or the amateur associations that they're part of. They're all trying to make the finals in those, and then when we come back to school, it's just we roll right in and get going to the rodeos. Our first rodeo is September 13th in Chadron, Nebraska. So
and as I lead into that, they come in and they're already battle tested, so to speak, from the circuit. So you as a coach, what do you do to refine their skills in their certain events as they get ready? Like you said, September 13th, you hit the ground running, so to speak.
Right. We just, we come back in, we just make sure we stay sharp no matter what we're doing. We practice, if we're open calves, we practice tying from the post every day. If we're breakaway, we're practice score sharp, rope sharp. Bucking horses and bulls, we're getting on, making sure we're getting good spur outs, lifting on our rein, doing stuff that we need to do that's going to allow us to be successful in the arena. Bull riding, it's a gritty event. You just got to come in there and try your butt off and make it work. Try to make the whistle.
Now, as we're posts outside of LCCC, at least for schooling-wise, again, where these athletes have the opportunity to, again, travel these circuits, go around the nation, compete in these events, do you ever point them in a direction of saying, hey, check out this happening in Nebraska, or go check out this event in Montana? You might do well here. Do you ever give pointers to your student athletes of events they should attend, or do you ever have the occasion of a student athlete come up to you and say, hey, coach, I'm looking for an event. Do you know where I could go?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I've been to a lot of rodeos throughout the United States, and I know which ones are a little bit better than the others, and if they come and ask me my opinion, I'm happy to share with them, happy to help them plan out their rodeo road trips. So,
I look back at hockey, where back in my day when I was a young kid, hockey guys didn't wear masks or helmets. They basically were on the floor on the ice without the helmets. And I'm seeing now today's cowboy, the bull riders, and I'm glad because you mentioned bull riding, seeing a lot of them now are wearing helmets instead of just doing the good old-fashioned cowboy hat on there. Is that going to be pretty much a standard in the bull riding industry that for safety's sake? And again, it looks like too, and I might be off on this, Coach, but it looks like it's really cutting down on a lot of the head injuries as well.
Yeah, it's the helmets are a good thing. I think for the most part they're mandatory in high school and college. So you see the contestants coming up, they're used to riding with them, and they continue to ride with them in the professional rodeos. I was one of those that I was always wore my cowboy hat when I rode, and that's because it was what we did. We were cowboys, and they look cooler in pictures, I guess. But now, the safety of the students and safety of the contestants is most important, and it's just amazing the advancements that they've made, and it's, it saves a lot of injuries. There was a kid today that got jerked down in the bull ride and hit in the face, and and it dang sure hurt him. So, you know, it's one of those things that could have been avoided with a helmet.
So Coach Seth Glause, not a traditionalist, at least all for the protection.
He's a traditionalist.
Well, I'm just saying he's approval, at least saying, hey, the helmets are a good thing for the at least athletes out there to get it. It does agree. Now, something that we want to talk with you, again, being a part of Rodeo, and again, whether it is professional head coach, whatever it is, you know it very well. You know, we had this controversy a bit for at least Cheyenne Frontier Days, where we had the top 50 athletes, or at least, again, a controversy that saw, you know, folks ask for a little bit more money out of Cheyenne Frontier Days for certain events, and, you know, CFD kind of pushed back saying, hey, we're not going to do it. We're going to be part of this new tournament style that is adapting across the nation, and basically said, hey, take your ball and go home or find another event, or either you can compete in our tournament. Now, just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that situation with those top 50 athletes of, you know, CFD kind of pushing, going into this new direction of this tournament style part of what are the events now.
Yeah, I'm smiling because I was hoping to avoid this question. No, but I think the tournament style is interesting. I think it's great for the fans. It gives them an opportunity to see a winner every day. It's fairly easy to understand. In hindsight, you know, as professional athletes, we have our choices to make whether we want to come compete or not. And there was some contestants that didn't like the changes, and they chose not to. Can't hold that against them. And, you know, the thing is Cheyenne's a great rodeo, and at the end of the day, somebody's going to win a lot of money and be successful here.
You know, the thing, too, being the cowboy and along with the cowgirls are the animals. And one thing that I know you, as a coach at LCCC, as well as, you know, these cowboys and cowgirls that participate on their horses and what have you, the care of these animals, just I'm just amazed at how they are just tended to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our animals are, you know, our most expensive asset. And, you know, we go to great lengths to make sure that we do everything we can, that they're taken care of as well as possible. I mean, most of the time our horses, they're taking better care of than we do ourselves. It's, you know, they're always fed at a certain time, and they're riding around in $100,000 horse trailers, and, you know, it's sometimes they eat and we don't. That's how it goes. So it's, you know, animal welfare is of utmost importance, and, you know, we just support doing the right things and doing the things that it takes to make sure that we're caring for our animals at a high level.
And then the one thing,
you hear that, Pena?
Well, yeah, and the one thing too that, you know, just sends a chill down everybody's spine is a word, a virus that can just be that quick that will go through any type of camp. Correct me if I'm wrong right now. I think there's another outbreak of some type of livestock virus that's going around.
Yeah, I think it's called VSV. It's going through Colorado really heavily right now. You know, it's just one of those things where we're taking the best precautions for biosecurity and making sure that we are doing the best, that we're minimizing our chances that we bring anything into Wyoming LCCC campus, and we got protocols in place that we're implementing and taking care of the animals that we do have on campus and the animals that we're bringing in.
You know, and then it begs this question too, Seth, because obviously in people world, medicines, doctors, hospitals, you know, scientists are coming up with technology and medicines to, you know, stop a virus before it happens and goes worldwide, or however they venture off. But in the world of animals, the veterinarians and of course scientists that are involved as well too, how do they get after these type of viruses that affect livestock? Because, you know, some of these viruses that we've seen in the past we've had to put the animals down, and, you know, I mean, how are they keeping up on that technology as well?
They have people way smarter than me taking care of all that. You know,
smarter than the guy asking the questions too.
You know, we're just doing everything we can to gain more information. You gotta know what you're treating before you even start treating it. So, you know, there's a lot of people that are coming up with better ideas and you know, increasing the ways that we can not pass those viruses back and forth between all our horses. You know, not sharing feed buckets, not sharing water buckets, not. doing, making sure other horses can't get with each other. So, it's just a learning process and trying to do the best we can to minimize all those risks.
And again, it's an unfortunate situation that even here in town, we've at least been affected by it. A couple of years ago, that affected our own Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo that pushed it back. But speaking of the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo, at least are we still on pace, October, at least, to host that rodeo once again this year?
Yeah, so October 11th, 12th, and 13th is the Sean Doobie Memorial Rodeo. We're, hoping to get a lot of people out and come see what we're doing and come see our student athletes and the great things that they're doing. And some other dates to think about is February 15th, we do our annual Lariats and Lace auction, and that'll be at Little America again. Last year it was a great event. We had over 550 people there, and it was a lot of fun, and just thank the community for coming out and supporting us.
Well, Coach, we want to wish you all the best. We thank you. And again, I know that you like to hang around all the bucking chutes and everything else out there at Cheyenne Frontier Days, and we appreciate you coming on in and chatting with us and talking a little rodeo, and we're looking forward again to another successful campaign with the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles and Golden Eagles.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
LCCC rodeo coach Seth Glause joined us here on 1480 KRAE. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Introducing Digital Wallet, a new way to pay with Platte Valley Bank. Add your Platte Valley Bank debit card to Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay, and have the ability to make purchases with just your phone. It's secure, simple, and accepted by millions of merchants worldwide. Try it today or check out pvbank.com for more information.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day, at Windmill and Del Range.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Well, we got to say thank you again. Always fun to talk and catch up on the rodeo side with Seth Glause, head coach at LCCC, as he took over for Bo Clark, who's now nearby at UW. We also want to thank Reed Thompson, assistant coach for Triple Crown, Wyoming, along with Phabien.
Formerly known as Cheyenne Mustangs, now officially. Again, as we got that release earlier today by former head coach, or at least manager, Rick Thompson. Again, still part of the board out there with the Cheyenne Mustangs, now known as Triple Crown, Wyoming. So, again, you still got to refer to them because at least now, post our interview, or at least with Reed and getting this information, again, now it begins the Triple Crown, Wyoming.
Triple Crown, Wyoming, formerly known as the baseball team as the Cheyenne Mustangs. Be like,
well, again, the jersey that I own, or at least I have, and again, the one that sits on the wall, it is now it's a bit of history now.
It's
because
a relic.
It's no longer, at least the Cheyenne Mustangs. So, again, the team did not go defunct. It is not dormant, but again, it is moving into a new league, a new direction, a new positive direction coming up in 2020.
It offers a lot more opportunity for the young guys here in town as well. So, and in the region, you know, and again, too, you know, this will open up some new avenues for Laramie. You could go even north to Wheatland, you know, Torrington. It's going to open up some new doors and windows for young men to experience this league. So it'll be interesting to see how this new team will take shape as of next season.
And again, we'll get more information as we get closer to summer 2020. Again, get all those details, unveil the jerseys, unveil the logoing, the color schemes, the scheduling, all that fun stuff. Again, that's going to at least come hopefully, again, soon enough, at least probably sometime in the wintertime once we get that all squared away. But keeping on the baseball side of things, since we were off yesterday, and again, things have happened, especially down the road in Denver, at least so far with the team down there. They're actually in Washington, D.C., as you mentioned earlier before. But Rockies, in the past 19 games, it is one of the worst stretches of, at least of contests for the Rockies in their entire franchise's history. This is right now, we're experiencing one of the worst losing streaks, or at least losing just at least 10 years of the Colorado Rockies in their franchise's history, where they sit right now 47-55, 8 games back of the wild card.
Well, think back as of last Monday when you and myself went down to the double dip between the Giants and the Rocks.
They had a lead over the Giants.
Well, it don't matter though.
I'm just saying this is a team at that point on Monday of that doubleheader against the Giants, where they came off of at least a victory, or at least a series victory against the Cincinnati Reds. They were about 2 games at least back of the wild card. They were, you know, a few games better of the Giants, of the Padres. They were flirting right there with the Arizona Diamondbacks. It was a team that was still in it, and a team that was anticipated to buy. Right. Here we are now, post all of this, with the Colorado Rockies, where in this 4-game series on the road against the Washington Nationals, you're on the verge of getting swept. You lost another doubleheader back-to-back.
Well, again, you went 1-7 last week. You're 0-3 this week. You are 1-10. 1-10. Your record right now is 47 and 55. You're in jeopardy of getting swept. You're losing right now, top of the 7th inning, 6-5. Here's the easiest way to say this one, Nick. This loss, if they do lose today, I'm putting a fork in the Rockies. They got to be sellers.
Yeah, there's no doubt about
it. They have to be sellers. There's no way
they will not.
Hell,
even if they get the win against Washington and muster up some way to win, I still think for Colorado, they're dead in the water. It's a situation that I said months ago, and I'm going to keep on the theme clearly now, is that the Rockies are not postseason bound. They are way inconsistent, and clearly it is showing. When you are pressed up against teams that are playoff contenders, postseason possibly bound, like for instance now we can say Giants are a team that you can entertain. You're taking on the Nationals as well too. Well, Nationals have come out of nowhere, but again, Rockies, they've been tested. You took on our Yankees team as well. Granted, these back-to-back series on the road, but these are teams that you're going to face if you want to get in the postseason. And it shows that the Rockies right now are not ready for it. This was gut check time. and they couldn't muster up anything, and here they stand right now, 8 games back of wild card spot number 2 behind Chicago and St. Louis, who are tied at 55 and 47 overall. They are right now tied with the New York Mets. The Cincinnati Reds are a game above the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they're 8 games above the at least Miami Marlins. So they're pretty much flirting right now with dead last, or at least at the bottom of the barrel of the National League at this point in time. You look right now, again, they're 1 game behind San Diego. They are 5.5 behind the San Francisco Giants, or at least 4.5. 4.5 behind the Giants, 4.5 behind the Arizona Diamondbacks, 6 behind the Milwaukee Brewers, and 7 behind the Philadelphia Phillies.
So will you agree with me now? And I'm going to throw them in there as well. I think I'm going to say this again. Clint Hurdle's team, they peter out. They're sellers.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. I thought they'd give more of a fight there in the Central, but yes, they. On the same vein of the Colorado Rockies, they were challenged, they were tested, and they couldn't muster up enough. They couldn't compete in these series, and now we see what the true team is. I think right now you know what Miami was going to be. They're going to be terrible. We knew that beforehand. Pittsburgh, that at least this week, or at least these past 2 weeks, at least pretty much past All-Star break, we now know what the true Pittsburgh Pirates team is. That they're not postseason bound. They're not flirting with anything. We now know the true vein of the Cincinnati Reds. They're not going postseason. New York Mets are way too injured. This team has no way to get back on.
You know what? Jacob deGrom threw a masterpiece through 7 innings for today.
It's a team that's injured and a team that has terrible defense.
I understand that, but do you think a guy like Jacob deGrom was showcasing himself, or the Mets were showcasing him today?
Probably, but
it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, certainly. Again, the Colorado Rockies, I think we now know what this true team is that they are not postseason bound. They have way too many inconsistencies, and again, it is with right now you're starting to see that with the inconsistency in the Achilles heel that is pitching, it's now kind of bleeding over, so to speak, into the hitting, where hitting's been not even that, hasn't been all that special either.
No, the averages have really taken a southward dip for the Rocks. You know,
I mean, we're talking a team right now that sits at least 50 runs
in the red.
In the red. They've allowed 595 runs. They've only scored 545, and I say only as they've been pretty dominant compared to the rest of the league, at least on the national side. Where
they're still at number 2 in runs scored.
Yeah,
right?
They're pretty good, at least on scoring runs, but the pitching has just been the biggest issue. Again, on a 3-game losing streak at this point in time.
And they've got the worst mark for runs again. So
this is a team also, too, on the road. How about this? 21-31 is their road record.
Yeah.
That's not going to get it done.
No. Well, and also, too, and here's another thing that we need to, and we didn't really get into much of the discussion with Chris Polton when he was in here, too. The Dodgers bullpen. They're having struggles right now in the bullpen. Guess who's going to be buyers of that?
Yeah.
Guess who's going to be looking, and again, not
so
much.
Could they look at Colorado of, hey, we got bullpen pieces that we want to get rid of? Would they look that way?
How about the Pirates?
Yeah, the Pirates, there's that possibility. For our understanding now is, for whatever reason, the Giants flip-flop on this. And again, the front office, the former L.A. Dodgers guy, now part of the Giants, he's now retracted everything of saying, we saw about a week ago saying, no, we're still sellers, even though we're in this great position of being postseason bound, possibly. Now they've retracted as the Giants front office. It's a team that's now interested in buying. They have now retracted in an article that came up, or at least a little piece about this Giants team, where players in that clubhouse said, if you're trading Madison Bumgarner, there's going to be hell to pay. Now, this team is all in. They are bought in. They want the pieces to stay and remain there, including one Madison Bumgarner, where we talked about, a month ago with the entity out of San Francisco that said it's a 99% guarantee Madison Bumgarner was on his way out.
Well, in that 1% doubt, he's staying. In lieu of Bumgarner being traded, now Noah Syndergaard's name's been thrown out. The Mets are willing to listen, and there's a lot of folks there in the Big Apple saying that they believe he's going to be gone before the July 31st trade deadline. Who? Well, guess what?
Well, again, as it ticks down.
First team you're going to throw out are the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The second one you're going to throw out are the Astros. I mean, the Astros are good. They're one pitcher. They are one pitcher away from being great.
Again, you could talk about both of those teams, and a team that I just mentioned that, again, are willing to spend money now. They have the money. They've done it before. They've worked well with the Mets in the past. That'd be also true again the San Francisco Giants that could probably use some starting pitching, or at least could use Syndergaard, a part of that staff. Again, if you get a Cueto back and healthy, where he's on pace to do that here about in a week and a half to be a part of this club, again, Bumgarner, you figure out what you want to do with Samardzija. You have Cueto in there. Maybe you retain a Rodriguez, but maybe the Giants are missing that one last starter to be a part of that rotation to help. Again, bullpen's pretty solid right now for the Giants for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty stable.
The younger guys, Anderson, Beatty, don't know. Again, Rodriguez could be. Cueto, we don't know either because he's got to come back strong. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah,
Syndergaard wouldn't surprise me if he ended up being a Giants.
Arizona probably could as well spend some money, but Arizona, again,
How about the Yankees? The Yankees will always – they have to buy some starting pitching.
Yeah.
I watched that game against the Minnesota – or that series against the Twins. Twins need some starting pitching as well, too.
And also, too, a
bullpen
team that sits right now tied for the wild card, but also tied in the Central Division, that'd be one Chicago Cubs. That's a team that certainly could use some starting pitching as well, too. If they got him on, again, with adding on to John Lester, or at least having him a part, that could be something that the Cubs entertain as well to at least distance themselves in the Central away from St. Louis, from Milwaukee as well, too, since those three teams are kind of bunched up right now in the NL Central. So, again, we are, 6 days away?
The waiting game has been more...
You would anticipate that it's going to ramp up here a little bit more as we get closer and closer.
You think this weekend maybe some things are going to happen?
But if anything, this might come down to the wire. It might be day of where those moves are being out, where teams are at least pushed up against the wall, so to speak, and that's where you'll have these moves. But right now, I think we're at a point in time that we have a good understanding of what teams are on at least on the buying side of things, and what teams are now officially selling. I think we have a good division of where the league is on those two sides.
And like I told you earlier in the week, we would have a clue on what the Rockies will be. I figured they were not going to lose all four at Washington. So they automatically You
lose all four at home against the Giants.
Well, again, you're losing.
And they were good on the road to begin with.
You're losing ground every day now in the West. The Pirates, I had a feeling they were going to write themselves out of contention as well. So where we had maybe about 3-4 teams, now we got about 6-7 teams that could be possibly willing to do some deals.
About a week and a half ago, we said that outside of Miami, you had everyone in the National League have a shot. Now as the year winds down, as everything is getting put, at least pieces are put together, I think it's whittled down to where I'm comfortable to say, yes, Cincinnati, they're not making it. Pittsburgh's not making it. Miami, clearly not. New York, the Mets, not. Out of the National League, I'm going to write off San Diego, absolutely. And I'm going to write off the dead last in the NL West, Colorado Rockies.
So, and again, too, many general managers now are heading to their ATMs to withdraw some cash and start making some moves. Mariners, I don't even know if the Mariners are even willing to make any more moves because they fire sale early.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anybody, again, Mike Leake, who threw again another good game last night for the M's, coming off that, 2-hitter or 1-hitter that he had for Seattle. I don't know if he's up. Kansas City, you look at Detroit.
Well, we could break
Chicago
down the AL
White
as
Sox.
we need to get into it, a break, at least our final
I know,
break.
but I'm just, I'm looking at other teams now, too. There's probably about 10 to 12 teams now that might be willing to make some deals. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We got more after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
Is the touchscreen on your phone or tablet cracked or broken? Buying a new device could cost up to $1,000. Or you could let the local experts at High West Digital Solutions save you hundreds of dollars. We can replace your touchscreen in as little as a day, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff.
Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Make your drive anything but average with the 2019 Kia Sorento. I'm AJ Miller, and with the 2019 Kia Sorento, you get similar features like the competition standard models, but spend less. That puts more money in your pocket. Dynamax all-wheel drive, Smart Power liftgate, and Surround View monitor are some of the many features available on the Kia Sorento. Come into Kia of Cheyenne for exceptional value. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Capital Lumber is lumber one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. Family owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company invites you to stop by for these great summertime specials featuring all greenhouse flowers and herbs. Buy one and get two free. Save 50% off on B&B aspen trees, 25% off on container deciduous trees, and 15% off all container evergreen trees and shrubs. Also get 20% off on all Austrian, pinyon, and spruce trees, plus B&B ash, elm, hawkberry, oak, and pear trees. Looking for a gift? Check out their gift center and receive 15% off on one gift item. Serving Cheyenne in the area since 1977, it's always a one-stop shop for your yard and garden. From family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. Open 7 days a week, all season long.
To celebrate Taco John's 50th anniversary, our famous Sierra Chicken Sandwich is back. With grilled chicken and original Sierra sauce wrapped in a warm flatbread, the Sierra Chicken Sandwich is better than ever. Plus, we're giving you a chance to win $50,000, free food, and other great prizes with any medium or large drink purchase. 1 in 3 cups is a winner. Enter the code on the cup to see if you've won $50,000, free food, or other great prizes. The more you play, the more you win. Ole the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 83. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 53. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. And on Friday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 56.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Back on Wyoming Sports Talk today as we get a chance to sit in the general manager's chair. And we're going to do this for the next few days, and it'll be fun to kind of like play along as well, too. I'm going through the Seattle Mariners roster right now, too. If I'm a GM, Nick, I look at possibly a left-hander right now. Seattle offers me 1, 2, 3, 4 starting pitchers that are left-handed and one out of the pen that's left-handed right now. Matter of fact, one of the young men, Marco Gonzalez, out of Fort Collins, Colorado, starting pitcher. He's only 27 years old. Again, I don't know what's going to be the wheel and deal right now. And again, Seattle has basically just said, screw this, we're...
Yeah, Seattle's already cashed in. They're 17 games back of the wild card, at least back behind the Oakland A's in that second spot. So, yeah, Seattle cashed in early, and it was very surprising.
I think
Seattle
Felix is untouchable, though. And he's on the IL right now.
Yeah, he's on the IL, but but for how long? I mean, Seattle is the face of that franchise. He is the guy
that puts butts in seats.
Yeah, he is beloved out there in Seattle, but is it a moment, is it a point in time that Seattle does need to move on from him and go, hey, we need to start anew. Thanks for what you did for us, King Felix, but we need to start fresh and move in a new direction.
Even Toronto, I looked at the arms for Toronto because there's been a lot of talk with, talking to the Blue Jays. Every year, everybody wants to talk to the White Sox because they're out of it. And again, I'm looking at the arms for the White Sox right now. Again, I'm looking at more of their left-handers right now. There's just nothing that really. Abreu is the one that, and he's an infielder. That's the one that I'm hearing talks that he might be.
It's all talks, and it's again that's all it's going to be until something moves. And I'm at this point probably with the save of at least rest of baseball fans are just sick and tired of these rumor mills and these talks because again it has turned into just absolutely nothing at this point in time. But calculating again from National League to American League, out of the 30 teams in MLB, I can safely say that 12 teams are available to sell. 6 out of the National League, 6 out of the at least American League. I think it's fair to say as we broke down National League again, you can safely say Detroit, who is now the worst team in the American League, or at least they're tied 25 games back behind the Oakland A's with the Baltimore Orioles, but they have won, at least they have 2 games less than the Baltimore Orioles. They sit at 30 and 67, but Detroit dead last, sellers clearly. Baltimore, that's a team that's trying to figure out its identity at this point in time. Orioles, who are in the off season,
but they're always willing to deal.
Again, Orioles right now look like a team on the same vein of where I don't anticipate Miami to do a whole lot of movement, a whole lot of selling. That's a young team where they're just trying to develop, and I don't anticipate moves being made out of Baltimore or Miami.
With Baltimore, they're doing the same thing as like Oakland did. What they did in the past is they sold off the big contracts,
and that's what did it. And that's why I'm saying Baltimore is
replenishing their farm.
Baltimore, in theory, could sell of how bad they are, but I don't anticipate because it is a young team, a young franchise where they'll be just happy to stand pat and develop that young talent out there. Toronto, absolutely. Again, with Stroman, possibly his name has been tossed out there as another pitcher to at least make some moves or at least go away from the Toronto Blue Jays. But they sit at 19.5 back of the Oakland A's. Kansas City, 19 games. Yes, the Royals, but granted, the Royals, they've already fire-sold, in the past couple of seasons. And I put them on the same vein as Baltimore of a young team that is just, again, they'll stay the course and just develop what they got.
Actually, Kansas City didn't fire sale. They lost to free agency.
Well, again, with free agent, but they also, too, got rid of other pieces as well. They found other ways to get back at least some moves and some deal. But, again, Kansas City, I put them on the same vein as Baltimore where they'll just stand pat, possibly, more than likely, and not be sellers. If they are, again, it's not going to be anyone big, so to speak, but Kansas City, they could be entertained. Seattle, yes, they've already fire-sold early, but what other pieces? Again, with the King Felix, granted, he's on the IL. They have some talent to get rid of, but will they? They still have an opportunity. Again, they're 17 games back in the wild card. The White Sox, 11 games back, and that's where I'd cap it on the American League of teams that are definitive. They're definitely out of it. 11 back right now for the White Sox, as much as they're trying to at least do a few things. They've lost 2 and they're 3-7. They had a bit of a charge, but again, for the Chicago White Sox, they could be sellers as well.
And I'm not saying, close the door, but the Rangers usually are a team you can talk to as well. And they're
the Rangers right now,
they're at the cusp. They're at 51 and 50.
Yeah, they're 500, and a team that was at a point in time up in the wild card, a team that was flirting with the AL West and well ahead. But the Rangers, same with the Rockies, they've run into rough times. They're 1 of 9 in their last 10. They have gone on a bad stretch. And Texas, there's a good possibility. There's a piece of me that wants to pull the trigger on them, so to speak, and say that they're done as well. Because it feels like the Rangers are on the same downslope as the Rockies, where you've dug a big enough hole that you can't get out of at this point in time.
Yeah.
And again, looking at where, in that ALS, at least AL West, LA Angels right now, they're streaking a bit. 7 of 3 of the last 10 on a 4-game winning streak. It can be tough to upend them. And obviously what the A's are doing right now, A's being phenomenal, getting back into the winning ways.
And they're playing consistent baseball, and they're getting healthy.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the A's. The A's, we keep forgetting, that they had lost Davis. They had lost him for quite a while.
Yeah. Again, who was on fire at the beginning of the season? He was the team leader.
And now Chapman is the one who's taken over the team lead.
But A's right now have a good. They're sitting pretty in the wild card number 1 or at least number 2 spot. Get a game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays. So some at least contention right there behind them. But A's still have a shot at the West. It's a far outside shot, but Oakland. They're moving in the right way. Angels moving in the right direction. Texas, I think they've hurt themselves of recent weeks, kind of like the Rockies, kind of like Pittsburgh Pirates. A lot of these teams where we were on the fence with, Texas is in the same vein where I think what this rough stretch has been for them has hurt them way too much that they can't get over now where Angels are moving ahead of them. And A's have moved ahead of them.
And I want to correct myself, say Chris Davis. I don't know why I said Mike. But anyway, I was also looking, too. The A's have made some moves where they picked up, for example, Homer Bailey from Cincinnati. Now, he got roughed up in his initial appearance with the A's. And again, sometimes you have that tough adjustment from the National League to the American League to the National. Case in point, Brian Shaw for the Rockies. He got beat up again today by the Nationals.
Yeah.
So again, we're going to have that chance to play, general manager for the next few days. I want to remind you, coming up, we have our